Okay, so I wanted to react to an increase in search and rescues now that it's summer. I've been seeing more articles across social media, across news outlets, across just my profession with an increase of search and rescue efforts for the summer. So let's talk about some of the real reason search and rescue and trail guides are busier than ever, not just in Florida, but throughout the entire country. So let's start off with, my own thoughts. I've done many videos on this, but the lack of preparation is preparing to fail. So as someone who guides people in the Florida backcountry, I'm not surprised at some of these headlines because, Florida's built different as opposed to, somewhere, 6,000 feet up where it's cold in July. That's a unique experience if you haven't experienced that, but you still need to prepare. It's summertime. Plenty of water and preparation need to go into it. I don't care whose videos you watch. That is a absolute must, and that is a reason why these things are going on. So I just seen a story out of Las Vegas, and they're saying that their search and rescue helicopters, search and rescue personnel are busier than ever due to injury, due to dehydration, just stupidity. They can't say that, but I can. And multiple other things. So, it's just hot. But down here in Florida, you got to remember there's not just heat, there's the sun, there's mosquitoes, there's gators, there's other interesting people out here. There's thunderstorms that can happen with 30 seconds notice. So I just want to touch on how heat and hydration and dehydration are the top issues that I personally see out here on the trail, and most likely are what the search and rescue folks are dealing with in the summer. So let me know what you think as far as what your preparations are for. I don't care if it's a day hike, I don't care if it's a summer backpacking trip. It doesn't matter, but what are your preparations for the summer as opposed to the fall, the winter? Because I can tell you that it's a lot different in Virginia in the summer, on top of a mountain, than it is, anywhere else. People underestimate the Everglades until it humbles them. Until there's search and rescue out, to rescue them. Why people get in trouble on the trail. Listen, I'm an experienced hiker, camper, backpacker dude, but I'm not overconfident when it comes to hiking. Nature is undefeated. So when you're going out there, you have to remember that you're going into nature. Nature's not catering to you. So goodness, if I had $1 for every person that I've taken that comes with a single water bottle, oh man, I could retire. But hey, listen, that's why I'm carrying like 3 or 4 1 or 2 liter knock water containers additional, because I don't want to deal with dehydration, and I don't want anybody else to deal with it as well. And also I'm taking a bunch of elements, electrolyte packets to combat this, so for them and me. And I'll tell you what, not only the dehydration, but hiking in July, I'm not sure how it is in the mountains too much, but hiking in July with no plan for mosquitoes is a recipe for disaster and chaos. So yeah, it's absolute insanity, and that alone could be a reason. Bugs, just unpreparedness. People are just ready to pull the eject handle. Um, without some of them they have to. They don't have an option. So, but let's get into you know why you should hire somebody if you don't know what the heck you're doing. Me personally, and this is just me, if I'm going to a foreign country that, I have absolutely no idea, the language, the landscape, the locations, I'm probably going to hire somebody. And this is just my personal opinion, so take it for what it's worth. But it's the same in the backcountry. I mean, a lot of people go out there and do extremely well. And others, it's the exact opposite. So, if you don't have knowledge of the terrain, the weather, the wildlife, definitely invest in that because, me myself, I'm carrying first aid, water filters, and also I'm carrying common sense. So, and a lot of those, a lot of the times people are missing one of those going out into the woods or anywhere in general. So, and additionally, safer is more fun. When you're out there with your friends, there's always that one that's that guy. Don't be that guy. Safer is better. So, and I'm going to put up some of the weather down here, how it's comparable to some of the hottest in the entire country this time of year. But, it's a good challenge, but it's a challenge that you can do if you're prepared. So I like to think myself as a tropics or jungle EMT, part-time weather forecaster, tour guide director, all the above to make it through. And that's not just down here, but that's anywhere. There's mass preparations that go on for people who are taking backpacking trips that you may not see on YouTube. I mean, there's a lot, and I plan on getting into those as my channel gets deeper. But you only see them out and about. You don't see the in-depth checking when the rain's going to start or the lightning or planning a lot of that. There's a couple channels that do an amazing job for reality, but there's a bunch that don't. So we're going to touch on that. And listen, just don't be one of those people that and this is just anywhere, but don't be the tourist that tries to shave off 2 minutes by crossing a swamp and you don't make it, or you see some teeth swimming at you. It's just not fun. So let's get real on how to stay safe. So you gotta check mark everything from injuries to band-aids to thirst, and no, a beer doesn't count. Although a lot of people bring them, me included. I'll bring a trail beer or something of that nature. But that's in addition after you're already extremely hydrated. Don't forget sunscreen, bug spray, offline maps, whistles, all that stuff. It sounds redundant, needed, but it's a must. Know the forecast, know the trail length, let somebody know you're going. And, those are just some of the easy ways to stay prepared, especially in the summer. It's July. If we're having this conversation, we probably won't in October, but we're in July right now, and this goes for this is applicable anytime, but specifically right now when I'm going to be uploading this video, it's the dead of summer, June, July. So if you're looking to hike in Florida or somewhere for the summer, be prepared. That's why guides exist. Use them. I've done the dumb stuff, so you don't have to. So I'll just do a quick plug for me. If you are interested in coming to Florida and doing a backcountry hike, I'll leave my information somewhere here on the screen or in the description below, but it's Tropical Treks. We do guided day hikes, backpacking trips, camping, gear recommendations, consulting, everything you could possibly think of, we do. Don't be a stranger. If you're a subscriber, feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk to you guys and get more information on you and just kind of go back and forth and see what your opinions are. Additionally, if you're not a subscriber, you should be. There's going to be more long form content like this coming, where we just kind of sit down and dive into some of the issues of backpacking and search and rescue and some more stories. So this is kind of just the start. But listen, book a hike today. Trust me, it beats search and rescue coming to get you. So do me a favor. We're going to conclude this. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this video with me. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did, like it, and we'll see you on the next one.